Hello. What is up? What is up? This is your buddy Alertwolf here to bring you another Marvel Universe review. This time it's on Avengers Assemble. And this is episode 5, Blood Feud. Now let me just say this right off the bat about this episode. I read the synopsis for it the week before online, and I'm thinking on the wiki or whatever, or the Wikipedia, and I was like, Dracula, vampires, right? That's where I was going with it. Like, I thought this episode was going to be no good, honestly. I couldn't have been more wrong, however, because this episode was pretty cool. It went a different route, and I like it. So, it opens up with seemingly ninjas breaking and entering and attacking the place, led by a mysterious woman. Ninja. And sneaking by all the Avengers, the only Avenger to notice is Hawkeye because he is that badass. Now, I know it's a little moment, but to me, the fact that Captain America, Iron Man didn't detect them, none of them, and it was Hawkeye who immediately knew these dudes were in the room, just raises them a little notch on the badass Batman meter. You know what I mean? And then you immediately find out they're creatures of the night, and there's not zombies, but vampires. Captain America immediately knows what's going on, asks for the UV filters to be sprayed, and the fodder vampire disappear or disintegrated, leaving behind Black Widow, who has been augmented and become a vampire. She's way better than she used to be, but it's clearly under the control of Dracula. Dracula, boy, I want to suck your blood. Oh. No, I'm just kidding. But, so Dracula. And obviously there he is, and there she is in the background. And they immediately, Captain America's like, we have to save her. We gotta go to Transylvania, And and Dracula says he'll release her if Captain America gives himself up. Captain America gives the history of the fact that during World War II, they were on the good guy's side, and he actually fought side by side with Dracula during World War II, even though it was an uneasy alliance because Dracula is freaking Dracula, a king who does whatever he wants. He's similar to Doom in this sense. And, alright, so you find out that the Iron Skull, or Red Skull, basically is manipulating the situation. Now, they get there, they fight 4 other vampires again. Dracula shows up, he has her, and he's like, haha. And then, freaking, Hawkeye shoots first and asks questions later, causing a battle. He's like, I was gonna, because of our history, it's gonna provide mercy, but I guess not. So there's a fight, there's a couple of fights. Meanwhile, she's turning more and more vampire-like, and if she's not released, she'll turn permanent vampire. Now, this whole time, there's also the part of Captain America, Iron Man, not believing in magic, is trying to figure out how she's become like this. And it takes him a while to figure it out. At first, his tech malfunctions and trying to figure her out and what happened to her. Then, with this living whip that helped out in the fight, he realizes that it's bioengineering and biotechnology, and he's able to crack it and figure out that the blood transfers the genetic information and rewrites things and all this. So he's figuring out the science behind the magic. Okay. The fighting continues on the inside. Jarvis also lets Iron Man know, basically, when studying all the Avengers' blood, why he wants Cap. And then we find out from Dracula, who's fighting Cap, what he wants. And basically, I mean, there's some fighting with Hawkeye and Falcon get hosed down easily by, you know, Dracula, but basically Dracula is been told by the Red Skull that if he sucks Rogers' blood, he's going to gain the super soldier serum power, which will alleviate his weakness to the sun, making him a daywalker like Blade. You know, so, and after all, for vampires, being a daywalker is everything. So that's what you got there. And then, during the fight, the Hulk gets bitten. And when the Hulk gets bitten, he turns... First, Dracula turns into a Hulk because he absorbs the Hulk's abilities. So Dracula hulks out, he gains wings, he's badass looking. And then Hulk vampires out, he turns a darker green and becomes like the movie version of him from the first movie. Remember how big he was? He was that big. And so now they're trying to fight him. During the battle, Iron Man analyzes the situation and figures out that basically by scanning the Hulk and scanning Dracula, because during the fight, Dracula gets weak. And it turns out that the Hulk's blood is fighting Dracula's blood. And the reason is, because of the gamma radiation, his blood is described to be like, each cell is like it's a little sun of solar radiation, which kind of makes sense. Which is why Superman couldn't become a vampire, even though magic happens. Because Superman gets his power from the sun. You know, you get where I'm going with this. So, you know, so eventually they figure out that the way to free the Hulk from the control of Dracula and being a vampire is they have to make the Hulk angry enough that he produce, you know, his cells get charged and he produces more gamma radiation. You know how the Hulk works. Thus, puring, you know, phasing out the impurities. So he does this. The Hulk gets freed, and they escape because Dracula's been highly weakened by the Hulk's blood. They don't kill Dracula because they're superheroes, but I'd have killed him. You know what I'm saying? Vampire hunting, you know. But and I take that back. Dracula. It's not that they didn't have a chance to kill him. The ground opens up, and demons or vampire drag him into the underworld, and that's how he escapes. I almost forgot that scene, and let me tell you, that scene was cool as shit. It really was. I didn't think they would put it in. I didn't think I'd see something like that. You know what I mean? And so they leave with her, but he's like, she's still gonna be a vampire. Haha. At least you could take her, but she'll still be a vampire. Meanwhile, on the plane, they create a serum using the Hulk's blood to cure her, and they do. And there's some jokes there. There's some She-Hulk jokes, because we all know the She-Hulk became the She-Hulk because of a blood transfusion from Banner. So there were some jokes. Are you sure she's not going to Hulk out? And no, the Hulk's blood didn't Hulk her out because it burned itself out fighting the infection of vampirism. And she is free. And that's the episode. This episode was easily a 3.5 out of 5. It was very good. I think it's my favorite episode yet of the show. I might even give it a 4 almost. I got to see where Black Widow's been since the last episode, since the last time we saw her. We got to see a vampire Black Widow. That's pretty cool. We got to see Dracula. Oh, and I almost forgot one part of the episode. You know what? And I will make it a 4. This will make the episode a 4. At the very end of the episode, he talks to he allows Red Skull to come in and see him while he's regenerating on some tubes because he's so weak. And Red Skull's like, listen, I've come for an offer for you to join my cabal and have a seat at the table. Meaning, the anti-Avengers, right? Red Skull's Avengers is going to have Dracula as a main villain. The fact that now we're going to see, not only are we going to see Dracula, we're going to see a reoccurrence of Dracula. I'm going to kick this up to a 4. Just for that reason alone. It went from a 3.5 to a 4. Yeah, the idea that they're going to keep Dracula around, cool as shit to me. Because you have never seen that in a Marvel show before. Even when you know, you had the Spider-Man show from Fox that had some of the Night Stalkers in them and stuff like that. You still didn't have that. So I think that's very cool. So, again, I thought this, just a recap, I thought this episode was going to be shit, to be honest with you. I was not looking forward to it. And it turns out to be my favorite episode of the show thus far. And this one is the first time I go, this is at least on equal ground with the previous show in this moment. There you go. That's my review, folks. Nothing else to say. So, click it up if you like it, comment if you must, and please, please, please subscribe if you can. And on that note, let me add this little PS. Basically, I'm getting really close to 100 subscribers. So if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, subscribe. When I reach 100, I'm going to do a new channel feature, my Anime Redux, which is going to be a weekly show that I put out, and it's going to be enjoyable, but I'm waiting until the 100th subscriber to do this, and there'll be some cool things there as well. So please subscribe, help me reach 100, and enjoy the new channel feature when it comes. Alright, but this is alertwolf signing out.